So we are taking your calls, Man United fans. What do you make of Ruben Amorim's comments about being the worst United side of all time?
Let me ask you a question.
Go on.
If you win a cup this year, say you win the Europa League and you finish in the Champions League,
yeah,
but you finish 13th, is that progression?
The club will be progressing.
No, Andy, come on.
We'll be playing Champions League football next season. That ain't happening.
I know, but 13th.
From this season to next season will be a progression.
By finishing 13th.
Yeah, but from this season to next season. Okay, I understand what you're saying, but do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know you're back in the Champions League, which is what you want to be.
Which is progression.
Yeah, but I mean, finishing 13th is bad.
No, it's horrific. But comparing season to season, having Champions League football and not having it is progression.
Okay.
All right? The club necessarily won't be moving forward.
No, but you're in a competition
that we wouldn't be in. Mark's a Man United fan. He's first up. Marky Mark.
Mate, all right?
I'm good. How are you? What's going on?
Bit down, actually. I went to a game yesterday.
Dear, right?
Not good. You forget your systems, forget all that. It's man for man, attitude-wise, running, everything, not good enough.
Why, Mark? Why? What's wrong with these players?
Probably years of mediocrity from other managers, getting away with murder probably on the training ground. As Benty said earlier, money-wise, nobody can compete with us on what we've spent. But attitude-wise, that Brighton team yesterday, we called it before the game. They're absolutely terrible.
That's the big problem. I think that's the big difference, Mark. I think you're right. Is attitude. When you look at the Brighton players, and I understand it, it's a difference. Obviously, Manchester United, I get it, but those Brighton players were hungry, got after you and stuff. Even Southampton. I mean, that was the one, because I'm thinking they are the worst team in the league. They're on course to be the worst Premier League team ever.
I know.
And they threw you.
They should have beaten us.
They should have beaten you if it wasn't for Ahmad.
Yeah. Let's speak to Ryan. He's a United fan. Hi, Ryan.
Hello, fellas. How are you doing?
I've had better days. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I've got to say, obviously, I agree with his comments. I mean, I knew that we'd all be talking about it today, and for the way they would say, it could be clipped. But at the end of the day, he's just speaking performance-wise. He's just speaking facts. He's speaking about the fact that we're so far down in the table and shouldn't be. I'm not sure about his system and whether or not it's working for the players, but there's the right defenders to play there. They put shifts in when they need to. And going back to the last call and just saying about mentality, it switches off for some reason. And it just doesn't make sense. So he has a right to say that. He's going to get clipped. He's going to have the media saying this about him. But he's got a chance to say it. He's coming with a fresh manager style. He wants to get away from this Ten Hag excuses era. And now he wants to just say it like it is, a bit like Ange did, and hope that people just listen and go, right, well, we need to look at ourselves in the mirror and get on with it, really. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you, though, Ryan. He's playing 3 at the back at the moment. It doesn't seem to be working. Should he stick with that and we could get worse and worse, or should he actually look at the tools he's been given and think, what's the best I can do with these players?
That's a great question. I think he's definitely going to stick with it because that's what he said from the start. That's what he did at Sporting. So he's going to stick with it. But I think he should experiment because he's obviously taking elements from Sporting and bringing them over here, but that can't be guaranteed to work. So there should be a way of trialling different things. You know, there's some fantastic players to utilise in different positions and not just keep with the 3 at the back. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see him try something, even for just a cup, a lower cup game, but he's missing opportunities now, isn't he?
Do you know, but
good call, thanks, Ryan.
It's a good call, but and then on the flip side, that he said about a cup team, I understand that, but that's where you need to implement it to try and get a bit of confidence in the system.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Jake's up next, also a Man United fan. Jake.
Morning, afternoon, fellas. How are we?
You could say morning if you want. You could just pretend you're calling from Fiji or something.
It's been a long day. No, I just wanted to give you a call because I agree with everything you've said so far, and I also agree with what Amorim said 100%. I come on the show when Ten Hag was sacked, and I mentioned about the players throwing him under the bus, and they've got a manager here who will be a disciplinarian and will get the best out of the players, but they don't like it. And they're just going to throw him under the bus again. And every single time we're here, we're talking about, can the manager change this, change that? when in reality, it's not the manager that needs to change, it's the players. Because it's the same players for the last, 5 years maybe? Some of them? 5, 6 years? It's shambolic. And I think we just have to admit now that, we're not there chasing titles anymore. We're just a bang average mid-table team. So,
Jake, where would you take the Manchester United finishing this season and say, okay, because 13th, we understand, is not good enough, but where realistically, let me start that again. Where realistically do you think Manchester United will finish the season?
I think we'll be lucky to get in top 10. I think 11th, maybe at a push.
I've just cashed out my bet with Benty for 200 quid. At the beginning of the season, we had a bet. I said United would get top 8, and the bet was £500. I've just shook hands on giving him 200 because I don't think we'll get there. Do you think I've done the right thing?
100%. I'd have done exactly the same. Yeah, I just think it's enough's enough with these players. You've got to get these Deadwood out. Yeah. I'd just cancel the contracts and say, see you later, and pay them off.
Well, I don't think that legally you can do that, but Man United have just cost me 200 quid. I hope you're listening, you lot out there, United players.
Yeah, it's not good. But how bad's it got to get before you get? I think he'll get it right. I like him.
What's right?
Like you'll start pushing for Europe again. You're not going straight away to challenging like a couple of your seasons.
Oh, do you think we'll get top 8
this season?
Yeah.
No, because I bet you wouldn't.
No, but I know. But now,
no.
What's the highest we'll finish?
I think you won't get in the top 10.
No, we won't.
No,
we won't. We really won't. Isn't that disgusting?
Might win Europa League though.
Jim Ratcliffe's done wonders since he's come in. He's $1.5 billion. Club's gone backwards, right?
Yeah, Ten Hag won 2 trophies. 2. He's walking around somewhere now with chest out. So they sat me 1, 2 cups though.
It's frightening, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is the club going backwards since Ratcliffe came in?
Yeah, I mean, I've not seen Manchester United. I know you've won cups, and I've not seen you take a consistent step forward for a while.
I agree with you.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.